Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the news from SABA Satellite Channel. From Arab, there are tonight's top stories.
President Al-Alimi meets EU ambassador to discuss reforms, development support, and regional security.
UN envoy calls for dialogue to achieve lasting peace in Yemen.
Also, German ambassador visits SABA Satellite Channel in Marib, explores media cooperation and training support.
Welcome back. President Rashad Al-Alimi, President of the Presidential Leadership Council, met with the European Union Ambassador Patrick Simone to discuss expanding cooperation between Yemen and the EU, with a focus on government reforms, development funding, humanitarian assistance, and institutional building. The meeting reviewed the EU's programs in Yemen, as well as proposed support projects in the water, energy, and livelihood sectors, following the ambassador's recent visits to Aden and Taiz. President Al-Alimi also addressed regional developments and threats to maritime security posed by Iranian-backed groups, stressing that lasting peace requires strong state institutions and the disarmament of militias. He called on European countries to support international measures targeting Houthi leaders and networks involved in arms smuggling and financing. The president highlighted ongoing economic and institutional reforms, praised Saudi Arabia's continued support for Yemen, including a recent fuel grant for electricity generation, and outlined plans to strengthen the energy sector through the new power projects, renewable energy initiatives, and future electricity interactions with Saudi Arabia. He also expressed hope for expanded EU support to help rebuild service, strengthen institutions, and revive the national economy.
Member of the Presidential Leadership Council, Abdurrahman al-Muharrami, met a high-level Spanish diplomatic delegation led by Spain's Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, Diego Martinez, to discuss bilateral relations and ways to strengthen cooperation between the two countries. The talks covered political, economic, and humanitarian developments in Yemen, as well as regional and international efforts to support peace and stability. Both sides stressed the importance of continued international support for the Yemeni government to help improve public services and address current challenges. The meeting also highlighted the importance of securing the Red Sea and international shipping lanes, given their significance to regional security and global trade. Al-Muharrami praised Spain's support for Yemen and the European Union's role in backing government recovery efforts. Spanish officials reaffirmed their support for the Presidential Leadership Council, the Yemeni government, and ongoing efforts to promote peace, development, and reform.
PLC member and Hadramaut Governor Salim Al-Khambashi met with local officials in Mukalla to review the performance of key services and production institutions and discuss plans to enhance their contributions to local development. During meetings with the management of the Mukalla fish canning factory, Al-Khambashi reviewed efforts to improve production efficiency, maintain product quality, and expand marketing and export opportunities to regional and international markets. He praised the factory's role in supporting the local economy and creating employment opportunities. Al-Khambashi also discussed plans to develop public transport infrastructure with officials from Hadramaut Land Transport Cooperation, including proposals to establish modern central bus station aimed at improving transportation services and traffic management. In a separate meeting, he reviewed operations at the Hadramaut branch of the school book printing press and reaffirmed local authority support for ensuring the timely production and distribution of textbooks to schools. Al-Khambashi stressed the importance of supporting these institutions and overcoming challenges facing them to strengthen economic, service, and educational development across the governorate.
Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Shaya Zindani met with Spain's Secretary of State for Foreign and Global Affairs, Diego Martinez, to discuss ways to strengthen bilateral relations and expand cooperation between the two countries. The meeting reviewed developments in Yemen and the region, including efforts to achieve peace and stability, the security of the Red Sea and Bab el-Mandeb Strait, and support for the Yemeni government in addressing current challenges. Zindani praised Spain's support for Yemen and expressed interest in expanding cooperation in economic, investment, and development sectors, particularly fisheries, to support economic recovery and create sustainable opportunities. The Spanish official reaffirmed his country's support for the Presidential Leadership Council and the Yemeni government, as well as international efforts aimed at ending the conflict and promoting peace and stability in Yemen.
Ministry of Foreign Affairs strongly condemned the Iranian missile and drone attacks targeting Kuwait, Bahrain and Jordan, calling them hostile acts that violate the sovereignty and security of the three countries and further escalate regional tensions. In a statement, that the ministry said the attacks reflect Iran's continued aggressive approach and its efforts to spread instability across the region, either through the use of missiles and drones or by supporting armed militias and groups acting as tools to undermine regional security. The ministry warned that such actions threaten regional and international peace and security, as well as the safety of air and maritime navigation. Yemen reaffirmed its full solidarity with Kuwait, Bahrain and Jordan and expressed support for all measures taken by the three countries to safeguard their national security, sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Yemen has reaffirmed its commitment to protecting and promoting the rights of persons with disabilities, calling for stronger international cooperation to ensure a more inclusive and equitable future. Speaking at the 19th Conference of States Parties to the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities at the United Nations in New York, Minister of Social Affairs and Labor Mukhtar Al-Yafi'i highlighted government efforts to support people with disabilities despite the challenges caused by the ongoing conflict. He noted that persons with disabilities in Yemen face growing difficulties due to the deterioration of basic services, education, healthcare, and employment opportunities. However, the government continues working with partners to enhance protection, inclusion, and empowerment programs. Al-Yafi'i said the ministry has activated the mandatory 5% employment quota for persons with disabilities in both public and private sectors, including the allocation of 170 government jobs since February 2026. He also highlighted efforts to improve accessibility in public facilities, schools, and hospitals, alongside rehabilitation and inclusive education projects, stressing the importance of international partnerships in supporting these initiatives.
Planning Minister Afra Hazruba participated in a roundtable discussion in Aden to review UNICEF's proposed country program for 2027 to 2029. The meeting brought together government officials, sector specialists, and UNICEF representatives to discuss the program's priorities and its alignment with Yemen's development and service needs. Hazruba said the program marks an important step toward a new phase of strategic partnership that goes beyond humanitarian response and focuses on institutional recovery and sustainable development. She emphasized the importance of linking humanitarian interventions with national development priorities, strengthening governance systems, and supporting data-driven planning and policy making. For his part, UNICEF Representative Peter Hawkins said the program provides a framework for cooperation between the Yemeni government and the United Nations to support state sustainable development and address priority needs based on available data and national priorities. He reaffirmed UNICEF's commitment to continuing its partnership with Yemen and supported capacity-building efforts across key sectors.
UN Special Envoy Hans Grunberg said Yemen's rich history and cultural diversity should serve as a foundation for dialogue and coexistence, urging efforts to reach a comprehensive and sustainable settlement that meets the aspirations of the Yemeni people. UN Special Envoy to Yemen Hans Grunberg has called for dialogue and mutual understanding to help achieve a comprehensive and lasting peace in Yemen. Speaking at an event hosted by the Chinese embassy to mark the International Day for Dialogue Among Civilizations, Grunberg described Yemen as a historical crossroads of civilizations and a model of human diversity. He highlighted Yemen's rich cultural heritage, including the ancient kingdoms of SABA, Ma'in, Gataban, and Himyar, as well as the historic cities of Sana'a, Shibam, and Zabid. Grunberg also noted the 17th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Yemen and China, describing the ties as an extension of long-standing cultural and trade links dating back to the Silk Road era. He reaffirmed the United Nations' commitment to supporting Yemenis on the path toward peace and stability.
German ambassador to Yemen Thomas Schneider visited SABA satellite channel in Marib as part of his current tour of the governorate. During the visit, Schneider was briefed on the channel's media mission, programming, news coverage, and English language content, as well as its technical and operational capabilities. The ambassador toured broadcasting facilities, control rooms, and studios, where he observed the work of Yemeni media professionals and reviewed the channel's modern equipment. Discussions focused on opportunities for cooperation in media training and professional development, with channel officials highlighting the importance of benefiting from German expertise in specialized training programs. For his part, Schneider expressed Germany's readiness to explore possible areas of cooperation and future support. He also praised the channel's technical infrastructure and institutional development, commending its role in serving the public and promoting awareness. The ambassador also visited Marib General Hospital to review healthcare services and development projects supported by Germany. He toured several developments, including maternity, neonatal care, emergency obstetrics, and the hospital's MRI unit, and received briefings on services provided to residents and displaced people. Schneider praised ongoing efforts to improve healthcare services and commended projects supported by international partners, including the Saudi Development and Reconstruction Program for Yemen. He reaffirmed Germany's commitment to supporting Yemen's healthcare sector in addressing growing humanitarian and medical needs.
That was the news bulletin from SABA satellite channel from Marib. Thank you for watching and have a good time.
Have a good time.